If you're looking for a career that combines strategy, finance, operation, and that entrepreneurial itch, strategic finance could be the career for you. Hey guys, I'm Zoo, the founder of strategicfinancecareers.com. In this video, we're going to talk about a few reasons on why we think strategic finance is one of the coolest career paths in tech. I have about 12 years of experience, of which 8 have come from strategic finance, and I want to share with you why I've been loving this career so far. Okay, so we're going to break this down into 4 quick parts. The first part is to explain why strategic finance is unique. The second part is going to be talking about the skills you need and then the skills you will develop in the career. Third, the career opportunities you will get once you have experience in StratFin. And then the last part, my favorite, is the personal satisfaction you get from having a career in strategic finance. So why is strategic finance unique? Now, we're not going to jump into exactly what strategic finance is because we have a whole video on that, and I'll put the link in the description below. But I do want to touch on why strategic finance is unique. The first big part is how cross-functional the role is. So what does cross-functional actually mean? Well, it typically means that you will be working across the organization with different departments or groups. And to me, this is what makes strategic finance extremely unique. It allows you to get exposure to all these different functions, to all the different leaders, because you will be synthesizing the information as part of your role. And again, by the nature of how this is structured, it just allows you to learn so much more. So cross-functionality is one thing that makes this extremely unique. The second part is your goal is to help others make profitable business decisions. So you're truly solving for value creation across the company. It could be you're working with product, or you could be working with marketing or a sales team or whatever it is. But essentially, your role is to really help those partners understand value creation, and then you're going to help them model and calculate it out. Whether it's as simple as solving how much marketing to spend, although marketing isn't always simple, or what product that the company should focus on launching next. All right, so let's talk about some of the skills that you will develop and learn on the job. Now, remember, obviously, for the skills that you want to break into the role, Strategic Finance Careers, we have an academy that does exactly that. But that's not the point of this video. I want to talk about some of the skills that you will learn in a StratFin role that it's probably difficult to learn elsewhere. First thing is the entrepreneurial CEO vision, right? Because of how StratFin is structured, you're sitting in the middle of a company and you're synthesizing and connecting all the dots together. This is an incredibly unique view. You don't get this view pretty much in any function at the company. I think even as close as FP&A or accounting, you wouldn't see this kind of visibility. Let's walk through a really quick example. Let's say, for example, you are working at a gaming startup and you are on the StratFin team. Part of your role would be to, model out your revenue and your users and your lifetime value. In order to do that, you would need to work very closely with 3 parts of the business. Well, the first one is the data team, and the second part would be the actual product team. And then the third part would be to synthesize that information to start to understand what are the user metrics and what is this lifetime value that these users are generating. And just by the nature and the function of the role, you've just learned so much already. And you are the one that's going to be synthesizing and compiling all this information together. What we tell a lot of our professional students who come into our academy is that we say one of the fastest and best ways to learn how a company operates and to really learn their business is when you join the company in your 30, 60, 90, try and get really involved in building the financial model or building parts of the model so you really understand how that part of the business works. Because on the role, you'll very likely be partnered or work cross-functionally with someone from product or with someone from marketing or with someone from the platform team or whichever it is, or the sales team if it's a SaaS company. So just by the nature of the role, you get a very a synthesized view and a very high level view as you get granular into the data. So that's a huge win in terms of some of the skills that you learn. The other skill that you learn is communication. People talk about communication being incredibly important. Obviously, you can learn it on your own, but given how you now have to communicate with different folks, different people with different backgrounds, some are going to be analytical, some are going to be very creative, you're going to have to deal with all of that. And this is a skill you will learn and develop on the in the role. And that's something you can't really learn elsewhere. And then the last skill I want to touch on is building that gut feeling. Now, StratFin is all about analytics and strategic thinking. We've touched on this before, how in any StratFin function, decisions will be done off of data, off of models, and things like that. But especially in startups where you're working in a 80-20 sort of mentality, you're going to be put in positions, sometimes very, very stressful, to make gut decisions because either your data can only take you a certain way. You're going to have to leverage what you've learned before. You're going to have to leverage some conversations you've had either in prior roles and things like that. But again, I find this really, really exciting and almost like an adrenaline rush sometimes, where you're going to have to make a gut call, whether it's launching a new product, entering a new market, how much to spend, what's the hiring strategy look like, if there's like a legal issue or you're doing an M&A deal. There is going to be that element of like you're not too sure, and obviously you'll do your best, but I found that in my many years of experience in StratFin, you get exposure to these types of environments, and then you just learn and get better. Like when I obviously first started, I was almost too hung up on data, which is a good thing. But over time, when you get exposure to making these gut calls, it's actually quite fun, and there is this adrenaline rush. All right. So, what does the career path look like after or during the tenure of a strategic finance pro? Typically, as we've seen before, people coming from FP&A or accounting, they have a pretty traditional path, maybe to VP of finance or VP of accounting or controller, and then maybe potentially going to becoming a CFO. Now, although CFO is very much a career path for people in strategic finance, it's not the only career path. And if it is, it's still a different type of CEO. In my eyes and in our academy's eyes, we believe the modern CFO is not like the traditional CFO. The modern CFO today is going to be extremely strategic, probably not touch any accounting or nitty gritty financial models. They're going to be very high level and a very close and right hand person to the CEO. But going back to the career path, I think strategic finance actually sets you up for multiple different career paths. And if you take a look at who you partner with, from product, marketing, sales, HR, legal, all those avenues will now make you experts in those areas. We've seen many examples of folks who have entered a company in a StratFin function, but ended up working in product in a few years from then. We've seen folks who have come in the StratFin function and then take on a sales ops role, or we've seen folks come in and even go and take a legal role. So, strategic finance, given how it's structured, especially if it's structured well, really teaches you a lot of different parts and allows you to now expand what your career options look like. A lot of folks who have gone through finance may not want to be a CFO. Some may actually want to be a CEO, or some may want to be a COO. And with the training you get from the StratFin angle, it allows you to leverage what you've learned from your past work, either if it's from banking or consulting or accounting or whatever it is. You're now not limiting yourself to a CFO title only. And that's why we think the career opportunities from strategic finance are great. And so then the last thing I want to talk about is the personal reward and gratitude you get from a role like strategic finance. We have a lot of folks who've coming from a banking, consulting, bookkeeping, accounting background, or audit, or whatever it is. And typically they fail to find this sort of reward or satisfaction in those roles. I know I did when I was in banking, hence why I'm here today. But there's a reason for this, right? In StratFin, you really get to solve for that entrepreneurial itch. You genuinely feel like you're building something. You're genuinely leveraging your skills, from your modeling to your strategy to your data, to help drive a business forward. You are not only giving advice, you're not only doing analysis. And so it's the combination of doing that analysis and then going and executing it, whether it's, working with product or an expansion team or whatever it is. There's a lot of reward and satisfaction. And a lot of that gets mimicked to what entrepreneurs feel, right? Because what do entrepreneurs feel when they build their businesses? The satisfaction of building something from scratch all the way to execution. And that's something you get while in StratFin. So obviously a little bias from me. I've been in this career path for a long time, and I still obviously love it. And we also help folks break into StratFin. But genuinely, if you guys go out there and speak to people who are currently in strategic finance roles or watch our podcasts, you will see the satisfaction and happiness in these folks. And what we found is a lot of people rarely leave a StratFin career. They really like it, and they feel that they're truly building something through this role. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to us or just drop a note in the comments.